We haven't yet completed our first year of travel and we have suffered some setbacks, haven't we?
I'd say we have, but what we decided to do is to fly from Athens to Istanbul at exactly the wrong moment. So what we recommend you do is get yourself a nice hot cup of cocoa, because this story is going to chill you to the bone, and it's a good one. So we joked at the start of our journey because the news yesterday in Athens was all about tomorrow there's going to be heavy snow. We left our apartment to get a taxi, and at that point there was no snow at all. Then just as the taxi arrived, a little flurry started to come down. We got in a taxi, we joked, didn't we?
We joked.
And I said to Sarah, to them in Athens, this is heavy snow. Oh, how we laughed.
We laughed.
Oh, we laughed, didn't we?
So the taxi driver took us the most direct route, which quickly took us onto higher ground, and the snow really started to come down. So much so, his wheels started spinning at one point, and he said, I'm going to have to turn around and go back the way we came and find a different route. And then we knew we were in for some fun and games. He quickly turned the car around and headed back towards Athens. We both checked our watches because at that point we were thinking, have we left enough time?
And then the snow really started to come down. It was like a snow bomb had been detonated over Athens. His phone rang. It was his wife saying, time to come home. He hung the phone up and said to us, he's committed to getting us to the airport. We were both thankful and very, very humbled that he would put himself out to that extent to get us where we needed to be. So, as is always the way, the world's full of wonderful people. We've got snow here in Athens today, the likes of which Athens has never seen before. Our taxi driver, lovely guy, he tried to get us here using a slightly mountainous route. Road was just totally impassable. Came all the way back another way. Over an hour and a half to get here. None of the roads are gritted. It is absolutely horrific out there. We feel so sorry for the taxi driver. Whether he's actually going to get back into Athens or not, I'm really not sure. What I am sure about is he's just had the biggest tip I think he's ever had of his life. We're just going to see if we can get checked in and then maybe fly to Istanbul. But I think at the moment it's a big maybe. I've sent Sarah inside where it's a bit warmer.
Everything seemed to be going okay. We checked in, all went well. We went through security, and when the gate was called, we went and sat at the gate. And then
our flight has been cancelled. Going crazy down there. A lot of people very unhappy. One of the beauties of slow travel is things happen, you know. You just have to work with it as it happens. So we're going back up to security. We need to go to Belt 5 to collect our bags and then go into the customer service queue for Aegean Airlines to see what our options are, what flights we can get, if any, if we can get some accommodation, or whether they'll just, I don't know, cancel. All part of the life of a slow traveller, or in our case, a no traveller. Right, a little situation update. Flight's been cancelled. We needed to collect our baggage from the baggage carousel and then come upstairs. Just showing you that queue, crazy queue. We stood in it for probably about an hour and a half, I'd say. And as you know, with these situations, you get a whole range of different pieces of information. One piece of information was, it's no good calling customer services, they can't help. But I thought, why not? So I left Sarah in the queue, I came away to call customer services. That's what I did. She told me that they've already moved us to a flight 2 days later. So I asked what we do about accommodation. She said, actually, no, we don't cover that. What we're doing is we just found a random table somewhere, got the laptop out and looking at accommodation options, but also looking at flight options. We could maybe go somewhere completely different, and that's the beauty in a way, I guess, of this slow travel. Where's Sarah? Well, she's got her priorities right. She's gone to find a couple of beers. She'll be back shortly with them. We spent a lot of time on all the main booking sites such as hotels.com and bookings.com. Thankfully, the internet at the airport was very, very good. But every time we looked at an accommodation, by the time we decided to go for it, it'd gone. Every hotel around the airport was full, and now it was becoming a race against time. We'd find something, we'd discuss it, we'd like it, we'd click, sold out. We found this one apartment, we discussed it for all of 10 seconds, clicked, we secured it.
Get it booked.
But there was a problem.
Yeah.
And that problem was, a few moments later, we got the confirmation email through from hotels.com. First thing it said on there is, you must book this accommodation at least 24 hours before you stay. As there is no reception desk at this location, we need to let the host know that you're going to be coming. Well, we're going to be there, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, in about half an hour. At this point, we know the snow is so bad that cars are being left all across the city. People can't get anywhere. And we're already thinking this one has been money down the drain, because by the time we contact the host, he's not going to be able to get there and we're going to be screwed. Sent a little WhatsApp, had a swig of our beer, thinking, right, now what are we going to do? Within a minute, we got a WhatsApp message back from our host saying, fantastic, your apartment's all ready, here's the key code to get in. Everything was great. And actually, he was a brilliant host.
Phew.
Exactly.
Here.
Athens in the summer. We've said we don't recommend it, but I think it's got some things going for it. Not least of which, doesn't snow as much. Just something to think about. So no flight. We sat at that table and we managed to accept the next flight on Aegean, which is 2 days later. And then we needed to find accommodation. And we looked at all the options, and it was really, really complicated because we don't want to be going back into Athens, because to be honest, in this weather, I'm not overdoing this when I say they've not seen weather like this. I don't know if you can get into Athens. We went and waited in the queue for a taxi, a very, very long queue, and in all the time we waited, about half an hour, one taxi came along. I think we would have been there for probably easily 2 hours waiting for a taxi. So I took the decision of looking at rental car options. I spoke to 2 different rental car companies who had 1 car left, and it ranged from between 150 to 300 euros for about 36 hours for a car. And then I saw Avance, the company that we used to rent our car from to go down to the Athens Riviera, and she offered us a car for just 30 euros a day. So 60 euros, we've got a car that's only done 4,000 miles. Couldn't have been friendlier. Hopefully when we take it back, everything will be great. But we're now on to our 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this our 4th accommodation, Sarah?
Yeah.
4th accommodation here in Athens. So I think it's right here. Anyone around? Okay.
Turn right onto Megalou Alexandru, then your destination will be on the right.
You know what our place looks like? I think it's right.
That's on the right, did you say?
No, I think it's right here. And then I think it's on.
When we got to the village we were set to stay in, most of the roads were absolutely undrivable. We threaded the car down roads that we thought we could drive. At this point, the car just span its wheels and we had to abort.
We've arrived and we've needed to abandon our car about 200 yards away so we don't actually have our suitcases yet.
We needed supplies. The apartment we were in had nothing to eat and nothing to drink, so we thought everywhere's going to be closed because of the snow, but we had to try. We found a supermarket and walked there. As soon as we got in there, the first power cut struck. We were using our torch on our mobile phones to walk around and do some essential shopping, and we managed to pay in cash. We walked home. It was probably about 20 minutes and we were freezing.
And then the great thing about this apartment block is it's almost brand new, modern as can be. Remember that power cut? Well, I tried to enter the key code in, and the key code system was down. No power. We couldn't get into our apartment block. It was now dark. There was heavy snow coming down hard and wind whistling around the apartment block. So we WhatsApped our host to say we can't get in. He wasn't local and he needed to arrange for a 4x4 to take him to our apartment block. That took him an hour. We were outside in the wind and snow.
Horrendous.
And while we were there, actually, another couple arrived. And these were actually two women that met at the airport in the queue. They were flying to Venice, I think. Unfortunately for them, they managed to get accommodation in the same block. They arrived, they were slightly confused as I walked around the side of the building saying, sorry, you can't go that way, you're going to have to come around the back here, let me advise what's going on. And we spent the next couple of days helping those two as much as we tried to help ourselves. So, Chloe and Clara, if you're watching this, we hope you're sat somewhere warm with a nice cup of cocoa and you can have a hot shower.
Yeah.
What a luxury that is, eh? Not much to tell you about the next 36 hours, apart from
Freezing cold, huddled under our duvets.
power cuts. At least one an hour.
Phones running out of charge and the internet was awful.
It was dire. More and more dumpings of snow, leading us to think things are only going to get more interesting from here.
Our car was so far away, we weren't able to bring our luggage in, so we just had essentials.
So with the power issues and internet, we couldn't really get any effective news that let us know what was going on out there. Was Athens Airport going to be open? Were we going to be able to get to Athens Airport? And then remember, this wasn't just a Greek issue. Turkey was suffering a bit as well. If you've been watching our channel for any amount of time, you know we see the comedy in just about everything. If, however, you are new here, now might be a great time to consider subscribing and ringing that little bell so you know when we've got more content. The apartment block we were staying in, the outside floor of that was all marble, which in the summer months is probably lovely because if you come back from a hard day and you haven't got anything on your feet, the cold marble against your feet must be amazing. But in the winter, it is more slippy than an ice rink when it's got snow and ice on top. So what happened? I stood on the bit just outside our door. I went in every which direction and hit the deck. I then said to Sarah, chuckling as I got up, that's a little bit slippy. You might want to go careful. When I said that, Sarah did something like this. Now I've got to say, this isn't Sarah, but it's a damn good representation of what she did. But I've got to say, this is the first time really that this broke Sarah a little bit. So what happened?
At that point, it just was the final straw really, after the long day and all, just the stress of getting to the airport, the stress of getting the hire car and driving and just the whole day. It just, I think I frightened myself because I fell and yeah, I just had a little breakdown.
She had a breakdown. So I had Sarah in tears. Well, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on. We got her up into the apartment. Then we sat down. We had a little chat to realise that actually things ain't that bad.
No.
We're all right. We're in an apartment. It wasn't particularly warm, but we were in an apartment. So there you go.
Things could have been a lot worse, and I think that was the conclusion we came
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
So there's a thing, you know, we do say everything's positive all the time, but we'll be honest when it's not. And Sarah found
generally
that
me.
specific moment a little bit
Yeah.
tricky.
And so to the morning that we came to leave our apartment.
So this is our apartment. Got a lovely big balcony on the front, and in here, kitchen, TV, air conditioning. Is what you need in this weather. That was the thing that was pumping out any kind of hot air that we had, which, to be honest, was quite limited. We were wrapped in a duvet for 2 days, and there's the shower room. It was very pleasant. We had a bedroom on the back here. We didn't sleep in there, but those duvets are like that because that's what we were wrapped around on the sofa. And this was the master bedroom. You can see on the back also a balcony. This cost us €95 for 2 days. Almost a brand new unit, which is great. Right, well, snow's melted.
Ish.
Ish.
But on the roads are good.
Yeah, the roads look dry, we'll find out. Rental car's just down there. We got the treacherous job of actually getting to the rental car, which isn't as easy, we found, as it could be. But this is us heading to Istanbul, part 2. Right then, off we go. It's telling me 10 minutes to get to the airport on Google. Let's see if Google's right.
Don't go and clear it.
Try and head straight into the road because at least there's traffic. Let me try that. You stay there, Gary.
This lovely man opposite has come to rescue us with a shovel.
I did offer to do the shoveling, but a mix of neither him speaking English or me Greek and him just wanting to be helpful meant he was the shoveler. That's right.
Ευχαριστώ. I ain't going anywhere still.
Κόφτω δεξιά, όλο, δεξιά. Και δώστε μπροστά.
Hey!
Oh, so there you go. And as long as we can get out of town without hitting any snow, because this car is not designed for snow and ice. What's this guy doing in front?
Oh, you're on the wrong side
I'm on
of the
the wrong
road.
side of the road, so I'm going to go.
Why not?
I was there thinking, I wonder if we're going to miss our flight.
I thought that. I was thinking we're not going anywhere again.
We're going to spend the rest of the winter in this apartment because we've got a car that we can't move. But there you go, kindness of strangers. Always a kindness of strangers.
And they kept coming out and helping.
Yeah, they sent out the third guy.
Yeah. Big guns.
I knew we were all right once he got out there. So
Very
we're on our way
icy.
to the airport at
Very
last.
icy.
Yeah, this is. I'm just skidding on the ice here. Right. Do not really want to stop. A light front-wheel drive car is not what we need. As you can see, the authorities had cleared the main routes and it was virtually plain sailing to the airport. Just dropped the rental car off. I left Sarah in the departure hall with all the luggage. I thought it's a lot for her to take on, poor love. Let's just get her here. No hero. But let's just get her in here. I'll deal with the rental car and everything that happens on that. Got charged an extra €10 because we used fuel, but there was no way we could actually get to a petrol station. Not worth sweating it for €10. Anyway, Sarah should be up in departures, waiting for me. Let's give this another go. Thank you, enjoy.
So finally, on our way to Istanbul, an uneventful flight, thankfully, and then
We've landed, but we've been sat on the apron for 20 minutes. We get into Istanbul, slowly but surely.
Ladies and gentlemen, we still have no information how long it's going to take to reach our parking position. When we have something, I'll let you know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, we were on the apron for about an hour in the end. No big deal, to be honest, but as we were coming in, we had the bus from the aeroplane to the terminal. As we were on the bus, we saw multiple of those little baggage trucks where they take it from the plane into the airport, just stuck on the snow and ice. So whether we will get our baggage is questionable. But we are in Istanbul, we've cleared passport control, so we are in. Our cab driver from Istanbul airport into Istanbul drove like a madman. He only stopped one moment to have a bit of an argument with a pedestrian that he almost ran over.
he was crazy.
He was. In his view, he was in the right, and the pedestrian may have died, but he would have been in the wrong. And the taxi driver wanted him to know that.
But we got to our apartment and quite frankly, it is fantastic. We're going to show you that in another video another time. We went out for dinner and our phones didn't have SIM cards at that point and the whole menu was in Turkish. So we had to guess and we ended up having a lovely meal.
Have we put you off slow travel yet? We had a video recently where we showed you all the medical problems I had in Athens. Now we're getting involved in snowstorms and closed airports. You must be thinking, I'm not sure if slow travel's for these two. So let us know in the comments, what do you think? How would you cope with these kind of issues we've suffered?
And next week we are going to show you all of our costs from Athens. That would include all of Neil's health appointments and scans. And do you think we stayed on target? You will find out next Saturday. Thanks for watching.
You've been watching To Go Rome. Bye.